Good day, everyone, and I hope that you're safe and healthy. And welcome to ELS 58 Technical Writing in the Professions. And for this week's lesson, we're going to discuss about our first topic, and that is what is technical writing? But before we proceed, I have a profound question, and that is why do we need to study technical writing? We'll find the answers as we go along. So come and let's learn. The following are the objectives of our lesson. 1. Define technical writing and its importance in the workplace. 2. Identify the characteristics of technical writing. 3. Differentiate technical writing from other types of writing. And 4. Analyze Philippine workplace culture and environment. Let's begin with the definition of technical writing. The question is, what is your own definition of technical writing? Let's take a look at the videos.
A writing discipline that simplifies the complex, an effective way to explain something and how it works that address particular readers.
It is a practice of documenting processes such as software manuals or instructional materials.
Technical writing for me is a practice of writing that involves processes or procedures.
It is a type of writing that presents instruction, direction, or explanation.
Technical writing is defined as simplifying the context.
Technical writing is where you can write about a particular subject which requires direction, instruction, or explanation.
It is writing a specific subject that elaborates the subject matter.
It is transcribing complex information into a more understandable language.
Technical writing is writing about complex or more so technical information in a simple form for people to understand.
It is an objective, non-expressive, and restrained kind of writing employed in work and technical matters.
A writing about a particular subject, information, instruction, or explanation.
Technical writing simplifies hard-to-understand topics to educate and explain something.
An audience-centered means of communication that gives instruction and information to a reader with direct and easy access.
Writing about a particular subject that requires direction, instruction, and explanation.
Technical writing is the process of writing technical information in an instructional and professional manner possible.
Always remember that if it's technical writing, it uses a highly specialized and specific language depending on the profession. Why depending on the profession? Because it depends on your field of specialization. If you belong to English, you actually use a different set of vocabulary and style in writing. If you belong to biology, chemistry, veterinary medicine, engineering, history, or whatever field you are, you actually use a different set of vocabulary and style. Another one here is the characteristics of technical writing. And the question is, what is the best characteristic of technical writing? Let's take a look at the videos.
Well structured, the information has a logical flow that helps users understand it easily. It should help the user complete the puzzle, not be puzzled by the details.
The language used must be precise, describing an object or procedures in an exact manner.
Clear and concise is its best characteristic because it transforms complex to simple.
It must be clear for the readers to quickly understand the writer's information.
The best characteristic of technical writing is clear. It has to be concise and easy to understand.
Straightforward. It requires relaying information in a way that is direct to the point.
Easily understood, it is to avoid confusion and misleading info among the readers.
It is the ability to communicate with other people who are not familiar with the works of a certain field.
Direct and concise as the information is given as it is to avoid complexity in understanding.
I have mentioned it, and that is objectivity. It is devoid of subjective values and expressions.
Technical writing should be clear, concise, and easy for the readers.
It's conciseness because readers can easily navigate to the topic given with no doubts.
It must be complete so that the reader will easily get it.
Easily understood. Effective technical writers avoid words that people may not understand.
It is accurate, brief, and comprehensive, and is not influenced by personal feelings or opinions.
These are the characteristics of technical writing: clarity, conciseness, accessible document design, audience recognition, accuracy, and consistency. Let's begin with the first one. Clarity. If you say clarity, you need to be clear as much as possible, such that if your readers would read your message, they won't be perplexed. Let's have an example. There's a memo here. It says, Date March 5, 2004 to Michelle Fields from Earl Edding, subject meeting. And the content of the memo here states, please plan to prepare a presentation on sales. Make sure the information is very detailed. Thanks. The question here is the message clear? The answer is no, because it does not specify what is this specific meeting all about. Is it an executive meeting, a staff meeting, or a committee meeting? Another one here is what specific presentation format should be used. Is it through audiovisual presentation, or through PowerPoint presentation, or Canva, or whatever? Another one here is what specific sales should be presented. Another one here is make sure the information is very detailed. What do you mean by very detailed? Another one here is it doesn't mention about when is the meeting and where will the meeting occur. And those are a few of the pitfalls of this particular example. And how can we improve this one? You can actually make use of this one. Okay, so you have here the subject has been improved into sales staff meeting. So it's now more specific, and then you have here, please make a presentation and improve sales techniques for our sales staff. So that's the topic of the presentation. And then another one here is this meeting is planned for. So you have here the date, and then the venue, conference room C, and then the duration. So from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And here you also have why is the meeting being conducted. So you have here our quarterly sales are down to 27%. And then you have here, use our new multimedia presentation system. So that's the presentation scheme that should be used. So in that case, the memo here is better. Do not forget about your 5W and 1H. Another one here is you can achieve clarity through specificity. You have here, for example, vague words and then to specific. Like, I have a low GPA. You can actually say, what is this low GPA? Is it 2.5, 2.60, 2.75, 3.0, and so on. Another one here is the basketball player was really tall. You have to specify here what is the specific height of this basketball player. Is it 6 flat, 6'3", 7, and so on. I'll be home as soon as possible. What do you mean by this as soon as possible? You need to specify the time. Is it 7 p.m., 8 p.m., or whatever. Another one here is the team has a losing record. What do you mean by this losing record? Is it 3-0 or 2-1 or whatever? The computer has lots of memory. You have to specify here what is the specific memory of the computer. Is it 1 terabyte, 2 terabytes, and so on. Next here is conciseness. If you say conciseness, you have to be brief as much as possible. However, the information should be complete. Let's take a look at the example. In order to facilitate an efficient meeting and fuel thought processes prior to June 25, I want to provide you with a brief overview of discussions recently carried out, blah, blah, blah. That's actually under the lazy rule. How can we improve this one? Let's take a look. So you can actually change long words to short words. Example, cognizant, to know, endeavor, try, domicile, home, morbidity, death, terminate, end. In that case, you need to avoid multi-syllabic words. Another one here is you can employ short sentences. For example, you have here, in order to successfully accomplish their job functions, the team has been needing more workspace for some time now. What you have to do here is identify the key words. The keywords here are the team needs more workspace and then jobs, or do its jobs. In that case, you can revise the lengthy sentence into the team needs more workspace to do its jobs. And that's actually super easy. Another one here is changing wordy sentence into less wordy sentence. For example, we collaborated together on the projects. Collaborated and together mean the same thing. So you can eliminate one. So you can just say, we collaborated on the project. Another one here is, this is a brand new innovation. If you say innovation, that's actually brand new. So you can eliminate brand new. So you can say, this is an innovation. Another one here is the other alternative is to eat soup. Other and alternative mean the same thing. You can just eliminate other here. So you can have the other alternative is to eat soup. So take note, avoid redundancy. Another one here is avoid prepositional phrases. Like, he drove at a rapid speed. So you can say, he drove rapidly. So that's shorter. Another one here is, I will see you in the near future. So you can say, I will see you soon. Another one here, I am in receipt of your email message requesting an increase in pay. You can say, I received your email requesting a pay raise. So that's super easy. Take note, avoid prepositional phrases. Next is, you need to make use of active voice. If you're using passive voice, transform them into active voice. Let's take a look. It is my decision to run for office. So the doer of the action here is the my. So that actually refers to I. So you put I in the subject position and then followed by the main verb. So in that case, it becomes I decided and then the continuation. I decided to run for office. Another one here is, there are 16 people who tried out for the basketball team. So the doer of the action here is 16 people and then proceed to the main verb, tried out. So it becomes now 16 people tried out for the basketball team. That's actually easy. The computer was purchased by Tom. You can put Tom in the subject position and then followed by the main verb, which is purchase. You can say, Tom purchased the computer. So in that case, if you're actually using active voice, you're actually making it more direct to the point and you're making your sentences shorter. That's super easy. Another one here is changing long words to short words. For example, utilize, you can make use of use. Anticipate, foresee. Cooperate, help. Indicate, show. Initially, first. Presently, now. Prohibit, stop. Inconvenience, hassle, or problem, or trouble. Another one here is changing long phrases to one word. For example, in the event that, you can make use of if. At this point in time, now. With regard to, regarding. In the first place, first. Is of the opinion that, believe. Due to the fact that, because. Make revisions, revise. Take into consideration, consider. With the exemption of, except. Make an adjustment of, adjust. So in that case, you change long phrases to one word. Let's proceed now to the next, which is accessible document design. Let's take a look at an example. You have here, regarding part number 315564-000, we receive 541 units of wafer number 3206-2. These were rejected. For the same part number, we received 643 units of wafer number 3206-4. These were accepted, and this is a very taxing. What you need to do is make use of highlighting techniques. If you say highlighting techniques, you can make use of graphs, charts, tables. You can also make use of bold, italics, underline, and so on. This is now the revised version. Part number, so you have here 315564-00. So wafer number, and then quantity received, and then the remarks whether they were accepted or rejected. And that's super easy. If you're the reader, then you would be able to understand the message faster. Another one here is audience recognition. If you're writing something, you have to take note of who would be the readers of what you are writing. And there are three types of readers. You have here the high-tech peers, low-tech peers, and the lay readers. If you say high-tech peers, these are your professors, your bosses who are experts in their field. Your low-tech peers are the not so advanced when it comes to knowledge about this particular field. They might be newbies or fresh grads or whatever. And then you have lay readers. Your lay readers are the persons who don't belong to your field, or they could be your customers. In that case, how can you achieve audience recognition? For example, if you have high-tech peers, you can make use of abbreviations. For example, you can make use of OP and EN because they could understand what's OP and EN. And then if you say low-tech peers, you can make use of the abbreviations, parenthetical definitions. For example, OP for operating procedure, EN for engineering notice. And then for lay readers, you should not make use of abbreviations and acronyms. Instead, you need to provide explanations. Let's proceed now to accuracy. If you say accuracy, grammar counts here. At the same time, correct information should be considered. Because if you're giving fake information, then you are not a good technical writer. And if you're not good in grammar, you are not also a good technical writer. And if you're good in grammar, you can make use of grammar tools like Grammarly. Another one here is consistency. If you say consistency, you need to provide uniformity all throughout, from the very beginning up to the ending. And the next topic here is the uniqueness of technical writing. And the question now is, what makes technical writing unique from other forms of writing? Let's take a look.
Technical writing is unique as its main purpose is strictly to inform and address the reader's concern. It is straightforward and instructive.
Because the technical writing is strictly utilitarian, with the purpose of addressing the reader's reason.
Unlike other forms of writing, it appeals to readers' reason, not to their emotion.
This type of writing is based on facts that are written in detail, concise, and clear.
Technical writing is unique because it is strictly utilitarian.
Because technical writing is without emotion and is strictly objective.
Technical writing is objective with no shared opinions from the writer.
Because its purpose is to ensure that even illiterate people can understand complex information.
Because you don't need to use a lot of words, you just need to use simple or appropriate words to describe something technical to inform.
Its sole objective is simply to convey cold and dry facts and processes. No emotion, no personality.
Because its purpose is to convey information and not to amuse or entertain.
It's unique because it follows the audience's reason for reading and not for their entertainment.
Because it is straightforward and concise.
It is factual, statistically based, or usability-based information.
Technical writing is primarily informative and objective in explaining different topics to the audience.
It is very unique. Why? Because it is discipline specific. As I said earlier, if you belong to this particular field, you make use of a different set of vocabulary and a different set of style when writing a document. For example, if you belong to English, you actually write differently. If you belong to biology, you write differently. If you belong to chemistry, you write differently. If you belong to nutrition dietetics, you write differently. If you belong to political science, you write differently. If you belong to history, you write differently, and so on. So you need to be familiar with your field. Another one here is communication skills and technical writing. And the question is, why communication skills are significant in technical writing?
The writer is an effective communicator, then it is visible in the output. Thus, the product is easy to understand by the readers, which are suited to the purpose of technical writing.
Communication skills is important to obtain the desired response from the readers.
Communication skills are significant to technical writing because it needs to communicate information and facts.
It allows the writers to give information to the readers effectively.
It is important because it allows others to understand the information.
Because it helps technical writing in terms of clarification and problem solving.
The writer is clear in vision if the communication process will result in good technical writing.
Because it requires its writers to ensure that the general audiences can understand complex information.
Technical writers need to write accurate information, so they need to gather information from the right source. That's why communication skills are important.
To maintain technical standards and achieve its purposes.
As it requires definite attention to what the writer wants to convey.
It's important because you have to communicate properly the information that matters.
For the particular subject of technical writing to be easy to understand by the help of communication.
Technical writers must have a clear conceptualization of communication process to produce an effective technical communication.
It is essential in presenting and transmitting ideas effectively, both verbally and in writing.
As I said earlier, grammar counts here. So that's why you have to improve your grammar skills. At the same time, you need to follow the standards of writing. Don't you worry, because we will go through those standards as we go along this course. Another one here is toxic Filipino culture and the workplace. And the question is, what is the worst toxic Filipino culture in the workplace and why?
The crab mentality, the idea of not wanting other people to be more successful than you, it ruins relationships and generates conflict in the workplace.
Filipino time, rushing things for tomorrow instead of doing it now.
For me, it is crab mentality. It brings unhealthy relationship in a workplace and causes someone or the whole organization down.
It's Filipino time because it signifies that you are undisciplined and disloyal to your work.
Toxic Filipino culture is lack of self-discipline. A lot of Filipinos tend to prioritize their wants and they don't know how to communicate.
The Filipino time, because it is a complete disrespect in one's time and efforts.
Mentality. since it sets boundaries and unhealthy competition.
Filipino time. Having this trait can delay production and may result to crumbing work.
I think the Filipino time culture because not everyone could be as understanding as Filipinos are. Time is time, let's value it.
Nepotism, using one's position unfairly to smuggle in relatives to the workplace, thereby betraying employment.
It should not really be a thing, but the so-called Filipino time.
Being too lazy to complete tasks on time.
Procrastination tends to postpone the action, thus reducing the accomplishments.
It is the Filipino time culture or extreme tardiness compared to standard time.
In the future, it is inevitable that you will experience a toxic environment at the same time toxic workmates. What you need to do is you need to avoid them. You need to practice good working habits because that actually counts. And the last one here is adjusting in the workplace. The question now is, how should you adjust in your future workplace given that your colleagues differ in terms of age, race, ethnicity, language, gender, preferences, behavior, and culture? Let's take a look at the videos.
Respect our differences to increase efforts at understanding my colleagues and be mindful and sensitive at all times.
Be accommodating. Find a common ground where everyone can understand each other's cultural differences.
For me, in order to deal with the differences of each other, I should show respect and treat my colleagues equally high respected.
I will practice respect, communicate them naturally, bring good vibes, and embrace diversity.
For me, the best way to adjust is to learn how to communicate.
I shall treat everybody with respect and be open-minded in everything.
Respect and be accountable for every word and action.
By communicating and making sure to establish respect and boundaries between all of us.
I think by observing and knowing them so I could have a hint on how should I address them and behave in front of them.
ABS, always be sensitive. Don't just be woke on the internet. Apply it in your day-to-day interactions. Create a safe, open, and accessible environment. Normalize gender pronouns. Treat your inferiors as your equals.
Respect diversity in all forms.
Communicate effectively with others and show your best self for them.
Keep an open mind, stay humble, and always talk in a professional manner.
Be nice and respect your colleagues to create a better environment for work.
Foster diverse thinking, stay neutral, be positive and flexible. Most importantly, respect one another.
Always remember, acceptance and understanding are the keys. And at the same time, if you are a newbie, you need to observe and follow protocols. And always remember, always ask permission before making decisions because if you'll not do that, you will be at risk. And take note, guys, before we end, technical writing is very relevant because it is discipline specific. It teaches you how to write depending on what specific field of specialization you belong to. And always remember, we need to study technical writing because it is very much useful in the future, most especially if you're going to write your research proposal, your undergraduate thesis, your laboratory reports, and other reports in the future. If you got questions regarding this lesson or you got queries of any concern, drop an email at f.rene.bonifacio@cmu.edu.ph. I'll attend to your queries as fast as I can. If it's your first time to watch this video, kindly click the subscribe button for you to be updated with the latest videos of our course. And as always, God bless and stay healthy.